Shadow. Shadow. We go
Shadow.
by Shadow.
Shadow. Music name is
Yes.
Shadow, but
Yeah.
um, he's here to interview me today on album free, A Dark Half, and we're gonna talk about a song that we've created and a couple stuff. So let's just get right into it. Get into the swing of things, man. Happy to have you here.
Yeah. I'm happy to be here.
I know.
Okay. Tell me when you want to start.
They can start at any time. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. For starters, what is the meaning behind vice grip?
It's crazy because that one had a very different meaning to it. It had a different course, and the different meaning to it is before what it changed into was, why am I so guarded to this vice grip? Why am I so trapped with it? That was the original idea. Why am I so trapped inside this vice grip, right? And basically the course just went like, why am I so guarded to these lies? Why am I so trapped inside you know? And it was different, right? This vice grip can't keep holding me anymore, right? And so it had a different tone, it had a different vibe, and I was sitting there with the demo because I was had it since Elevation, the era of Elevation. I didn't know what to do with it. So when I heard Hospital Bed by Citizen Soldier, I'm like, what if I write a heavier version of that?
Yeah.
You know,
That,
so
that one's a good one.
what if I write a heavier version of that? So now Vice Grip became that. So that song's all about the fear of failure. Um, and I think I outbeat the demo. I think I did a way better job with it, in my opinion, because the chorus is like doesn't say the title in the chorus, which I think is really cool. It says it in the pre-chorus, but the chorus is like, why is it so haunting, never ending taunting, always the same mistakes, keeping the promises until I fail again, right? It's just that idea of like, I'm going to keep failing. I know it inside my heart I'm going to keep failing, but I have to keep trying. You know what I mean? So kind of like
Yeah.
that idea of that, and it has a cool breakdown moment, has a cool break.
I love breakdowns. I always love breakdowns. You can never go wrong with them most times.
You can't.
Continue. Continue.
Um, so that one's really cool. That one's a really fun one. Um, it's a really cool one. Cool breakdown, cool riff, cool heaviness to it. That one's already out. You can check it out right now. It's already out. It's a really cool one.
Okay. I'm looking at a couple of the stuff for the set list, and there's a couple that's catching my eye that are later on in the album.
Yeah.
Next is Barely Alive.
Bury Alive is a song that's all about being trapped in your own mental illness. Kind of like, why am I, like, what am I going to do in order to not be in this place? Right. So, kind of like I tease this song because it's just so heavy. It has another cool riff to it. It's a nice, heavy one. And it's just like, the course is just, I feel so much pain. Numbness is in the cell brain. Is this where I have to remain when I lay in the deathbed and explain? How am I going to maintain myself when I feel chained and buried alive? So it's like, how am I going to calm myself down to a point where um I'm not going to be so like guarded to the
What's
thing
up, John?
that's keeping me right. What's up, John? Um, so the cool thing about this song is that usually you don't hear too many. Like, I've changed the formula up where it's like there's a bridge and then it leads into the breakdown. It's kind of like a bridge reading to the breakdown, which I think is really cool. I don't want to reveal too much about it, but when you hear it, it's gonna be like, whoa, right? So that song comes out in the summer.
Okay, next is Fight for Life. That
Yeah,
one sounds deep.
that song's already out. um that one is just all about I got to keep going. I got to keep moving. And even though I struggle for all this pain, anxiety, stress, I got to keep moving and I got to keep going. So the course is just, I'll make it known to win this fight. Give it an all I want to see the light. I'm going to make it through the night.
John, we're talking about his album 3 called Half Life.
Dark light, dark
Track by
half,
track.
dark
Dark
half,
Half, sorry.
track by track,
Track by track.
track by track.
Yeah.
So basically,
I screwed up.
so what I was saying, the course goes, I'll make it known to win this fight. Give it an all I want to see the light. I'm going to make it through the night. I don't want to run or hide because I know I'm fighting for my life. So, like, it's just, I got to keep fighting. And no matter what I do, no matter how I keep going, I'm going to keep making through it. And the bridge is just really cool in that one, too. It's just, goes locked and chained, broken and made my ways, fire set ablaze, not gonna let you take control over my whole black soul. That's my new goal. And then kind of just goes back between those two lines, black soul, new goal. It's cool. Has a cool dropout course. It's a mid tempo one, kind of like Black Hole Brain without you. You know what I mean? Kind of like, but really more, like kind of like emotional, belty type one. That one's very cool. That one's out right now. So if anyone wants to go
Like, is it sort of like the belting like in Fever and like Wired for Worthless is like those
no,
sort of
I wouldn't say it's that heavy. I'd say it's like mid tempo, kind of like maybe
like
Black Hole
Black Hole
Brain.
Brain mixed with Fever and Wired for Worthless, sort of
I'll say
like
I'll say Black
vo-
Hole Brain.
vocally Fever and Wired for Worthless, but instrumentally.
Instrumentally, it's Black Hole Brain. Vocally, it's Wired for Worthless. I'll say like not
Oh,
like
nice.
screamy Wired for Worthless, but like belty type. So like if like
Yeah.
so yeah, I'll say Black Hole. Man, it'd be Black Hole Brain meets Fever. Yeah, I'll say that. Fight for Life. John.
John, I'm pretty sure we both have the same favorite singer
Uh,
because we're obviously talking about them.
uh,
Jake Segura from Citizen Soldier.
yes. I'm glad
He can
John has a
sing.
lot of questions for us. Um,
Yes.
um,
Baby, we're born to lose. I
yeah,
love that one.
Fever, and so that one's really
Black
cool.
hole
Yeah,
brain.
Fight for Life, but Fight for Life's a really good one. It's cool. It's a cool one. It's a long one, but cool. I like to visualize it for it. Hey, John is from the
Yeah.
group probably. I posted this in the group, so he probably joined. Let's go.
Way true. Wait,
Okay.
in the Citizen Soldier group?
All right.
In the family group chat?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Posted live. Okay. Next one.
okay, Graveborn.
Who? Oh Lord. I just got the final mix of that back. I remember when we were sitting with the demo, me and in pieces, me and James, sitting with that demo, and we didn't like it, and we wanted to redo it. So I think it's a way better version. I just got it back, and I heard it, and I'm like, oh my god, like this is so much better than it was before. And I'm stoked for everybody to hear it because this one comes out in the summer too. And this one is just like if Limit was heavier, like Limit by C, but if it was heavier. So kind of like when I sing my parts, it's my story,
Where do
and when
you
James
run?
sings his
Where do you
parts,
run?
right? And when James sings
When
his parts,
accident
it's
that.
like and when James sings his parts, it's his story being told, right?
So
So
like, sort of like how Jake and Lo
yeah,
did it. Like
yeah,
Jake told his story, Lo told his,
yeah. So
or
yeah,
Josh, I should
pretty
say.
much. So it's like a heavier Limit. I think it's really cool because the course is just in me already. Death is ready. My hands aren't steady, but the monsters are creeping up on me. Leave me alone and let me be. All the things I've yet to see, I live to see the dawn when I become Graveborn. Right?
Ooh, that's nice. Uh,
The
I think the part where Limit got me most was where Josh said, uh, Now I live with PTSD and pray that there's an ending, 'cause I don't wanna die
Yeah,
inside my head.
yeah, like
I like that
there's
part.
a bridge leading to a breakdown, kind of similar to Buried Alive, and the bridge is just like, um, how much more can I take? Maybe believing in God was a mistake, and then it goes into like there's a other part half of it, but that's a part of it, and it leads into the breakdown. It's really cool because it's like an instrumental riffy type one. And you hear James scream. It's really cool. It's a really cool one. It has a cool transition. It's really cool, and then has a cool outro. I don't want to spoil too much about it, but when people hear that, they're gonna be like, "This is a good song. Like, this is gonna be a good one." like, you know. So that's great. It's gonna be teased soon. I want it to be teased soon. Hopefully.
That's good. Okay, next. Edge of Humanity.
I remember this one's different because this one's just all about like the idea of somebody saying if religion was real, if God was real, then why do I keep going through these problems? That's basically Edge of Humanity, right?
Well, then you
If
also think about he puts
right,
you through hell to see how strong you really are, and if you make it through all of it, then you're strong
yeah, right.
and
So
one of his soldiers.
the whole idea of the song is if God was real, if the religion was real, then why do I keep going through these struggles? So basically, the chorus is just the chorus of that song's really fun. It's catchy, but it's like I'm trying to remember the lyrics for that one. Goes, why did you have to leave? You destroyed everything I once believed. How am I going to achieve anything if the angel's wings are carrying me? Maybe my body was meant for burying when I'm on the edge of humanity. You know, it's really different. It's lighter. It has like a star set type breakdown too in it, and then the outro is really cool. And then this is probably my second, like my favorite verse on this song. My second, like if there was any second verse on this record, that would be my favorite. This is probably it because it goes. I'll give this to because the second verse goes. Gravity is pulling me in a different direction. Time spiral is in conception. I need perception in this hellish connection. So it's just like things are pulling me this way, that way, and I need somebody's help, right? So it's too cool star set breakdown, cool riff, cool outro. That one's gonna be an album track though. So you're gonna have to probably have to.
Okay. That's
That an album track. Well, I think that one deserves to be an album track. So
honestly wasn't gonna put on uh for my album for my first one. I honestly was about to just take off Little Moments. That one like it at all. And but I showed it to one of my friends. She was like, "Keep this one on there. I think that one spreads a positive message." And I was like, "It's true. It does, but I don't like it.
yeah, I remember it's a
But
good album,
it
man.
does."
It's a good album for me.
But then I put it on there and released it, and then man, it all happened.
It's a good one. It's a good album. All right, next song.
Uh, World War III, which I can already try and guess what this one's about.
Oh yeah, yeah. This one's fun. This one is really.
Cause I'm pretty sure I stood up for you on the
I
comment
teased
section
this
of
one.
this song.
I just teased this one.
Yeah, the teaser version of it.
The whole song is about why I think the leader of America is the wrong fit. If that makes sense. For me, I can't.
Basically,
Basically,
like
basically like it's a roast song, but also like a self-deprecation, dark humor type thing with it. Like here's why I can't stand my
basically
fucking prick. Like, you know what I mean?
dissing the president while adding self-deprecation and dark humor.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah. So basically the song just opens up with you want to make America great again. You burn it to the ground instead. Right? It's just like, well, you're saying to these people, I'm gonna do this, but you're doing all these horrible things, and then and then the chorus is, you're a liar, you're a fool, you're a wolf in sheep's clothing, you want to bring back all the evil, but if you come back in, you're going to start World War III. And it's funny because I love the second verse. I love the bridge. The bridge is just like because I wrote this with James, this one with James. um it's one of my favorites off this record. And the bridge just goes, "You're not a right fit. They're just chomping at the bit, committed with crimes like sex, drugs, and the song. Proclaim yourself as being strong." Like, and then it just goes on to say, "Joe Biden ace middle school. What do you have against him? Looking like an annoying orange is a sin. Get some treatment on your skin, you fucking old piece of shit." You know. And anytime I hear that song and anytime I listen back to it, I just laugh because it's just like I love it. I just love the transition. I love the ending. The whole song is just so fun. Anyone is like one of those people who are like against the mega and against that administration are really gonna be. This is gonna really be like the song they're gonna listen to and gonna scream out loud. Because they really feel it now. You know, I'm happy to release this one now because he's actually as the president. He's actually, so it's gonna be fun. What's the next one coming out April 15th?
I know this may sound like wait, you're releasing that one the day after I release another single called "Let Me Go."
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm I'm writing a political song about my views on what happens in America and stuff, which is similar to World War III, but uh, it's not because I heard it on the snippet, and my idea is completely different from that. I'm more of going for like a rap rock.
Mine's more self-deprecating and
uh,
dark humor. Mine is more like
Yeah,
in that range. It's a
I'm going
fun
for
one.
more like a like the feel like the same heaviness as The Liar by Citizen Soldier and like I don't know, Watch the World Burn by Falling in Reverse.
Yeah.
I'm going for more of that type
Okay.
setting, but it might go good.
Yeah.
Anyways, next song, Through the Fire.
My favorite, easily my favorite off this record. Um, if anyone's likes Linkin Park or Breaking Benjamin, is really gonna like this song because instrumentally it sounds a lot like both of those bands. And the whole song is just about overcoming my past relationship with my dad, with my real dad. And
Thing.
it's a tragic story. I don't feel like getting into it, but when you hear this song, you'll hear the pain. So basically, the chorus is, "I'll make it through the fire, making my amends. All I've ever had are fake friends, killing my self esteem, walking through these obstacles in these dark tunnels. I'll make it through the fire." So it's just like I'm beating the trauma, I'm beating the anxiety, and I'm not gonna let whatever he did to me, like when you hear the second verse, it's completely unhinged. right? The second verse is just this unhinged version of me that you don't really hear in a song. I think it has some of my best screams in it too. And what's cool about it is when you hear the second chorus, you think it's over. Like you think the song is over. Second chorus, then the last chorus, you think the song's over. But then it just comes in with this huge bridge and the last chorus, and it's just such a cool like transition that I don't think anyone's gonna expect it when they hear it. And that was actually gonna be the last single before the album comes out. And I chose that to be the last single because I think a lot of people, when they hear it, are going to be like, that's a good way to take it out. I know a lot of people are going to be mad at me when they hear that song and be like, when I tease that song, and they're going to be like, I want it now. But when you hear it, when you hear like the whole thing, you'll be like, yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense why you put that as the last single.
Yeah. Okay. Where the Dead Dwell.
That one is another feature with Jacko. That one is about people pleasing. So imagine Burden, but heavier. If Burden was heavier, like a really like nastier riff, screamy, like so if Burden was more like screamy and riffy, if that makes sense. So like
Which burden? Citizen Soldier burden or my burden?
Citizen
Which
Soldiers.
one?
Citizen Soldiers.
Okay.
Citizen Soldiers.
Burden will always be unreleased. Number one, because
the
of what you told
the
me, and
the
number
one
two,
the one that I will take to the grave.
yes, is Relapse. Because I used the same beat on accident. But I could recreate it just like same meaning, same feel to it, but like different
Yeah.
music.
I will take Relapse to the grave. Listen to that song and you'll understand why. I'll just
I
say that.
already did not understand.
Did you already hear it? You already heard it?
Yeah.
Do you, do you now understand why I take it to the grave?
Yep.
Okay. Anyways, back to the real thing, where the dead dwell, right? So I was saying like burden but heavier. It's basically it has a nasty riff. I think it's the heaviest song on the record, pretty much. And then and the chorus is just want to feel accepted. Why am I so neglected? I put everyone else as all my needs, but when I look out into the crowd, I see where the dead dwell. You know, so it's just like looking at all these people, and I'm trying to give them everything they want, but they're still not accepting me. They're still not, you know. What's up, Scope?
Hey Scope. Hey, how you doing?
But I'm still not right. And it's cool because it actually ends off with the breakdown, and I think Jackal really killed it with his vocals on this song. It's also an album track, if you're curious. So, but
Okay.
August 1st is gonna be a good day.
Fractured.
The biggest gut punch on this record. I was gonna say that right now. The biggest gut punch on this record, even though it's heavy, it's nasty, it's screamy. The meaning behind it is just so. Mm, it stirs my soul. And the reason why is because the song is all about my depression and telling it in this song, you know, what I went through and what I had to go through during it. And so that's actually the next song that comes out after World War III, if you're curious.
So it goes World War what? I can't speak. World War Three, and then Fractured.
And then yeah, and then Fractured. Fractured is the chorus is just I'm fractured forever. I can't hold myself together. No one understands my pain, but the voices in my head are the tattoos of shame. Always thinking God was a disgrace. I'm fractured forever. I'm fractured forever. Welcome to my brain. You know. So it's
Okay.
just like and the second verse and the cool breakdown. There's a awesome screamy breakdown in this one. It's a cool one, but uh, yeah, and that one's a good one. Um, just a good song. I think a lot of people are gonna enjoy it, but because I release a song every 2 weeks, so Fracture comes out April, sometime at the end of April. So it's gonna be a good one. I can't wait to tease that one. That one's gonna be fun, especially the verse, because and then so Fracture's good. And I forgot to say for Fight for Life. Just forgot to say, I forgot to mention this because I was just thinking about it. Fight for Life, the original way it's no wait, Bury Alive. No, it wasn't Fight for Life. Bury Alive. Bury Alive. It was originally gonna start with like a Slipknot type um intro where it was like fight, hey, like a chanting. And when I heard it, I was just like, it
Like
doesn't
how
fit.
they start off with like how they start off with like the dirty bass and then the kick drum and they chant the song title over and over,
Yeah,
sort
that
of.
chanting. So it was gonna be like fight, hey, and I was just listening to it. And I'm like, that doesn't fit the song. So when you hear it now, it's just gonna be this instrumental where it's heavy and then it jumps into the first verse, which I think is cooler. But I forgot to say that for
So
Bear.
it's sort of like how Fever starts off the song just like with that heavy riff and heavy drums and heavy everything, and
Yeah,
then he just jumps
yeah,
into the verse.
yeah.
Uh,
It's a
or
good.
like with Wired for Worthless, because that's what they do for that one too.
Yeah, it's a good one. But Fracture's a good one. I just can't remember the first verse out of the life in me. um, it's been a while since I heard that one. Ever since I mixed it, and I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it again. But I do remember the chorus. So,
How long has it took you to make this album?
I think probably um, ever since Elevation was done. So probably a year. I'm gonna say maybe like about a year, or
Around there.
maybe 4 or 5 months, maybe half of a year, maybe six, maybe half of a year.
Yeah, around there. Probably.
Yeah, probably half of a year.
Which one did we just end on?
Fractured,
That I just know.
fractured.
So now it's Kill Your Nightmares.
That one has orchestra in it. Cool moments of orchestra of violins. It's really heavy. It's like if anyone likes the lighter streams, like when you hear stuff from Supernova and Blackout, like my first album, which the two EPs combined. If you like any of the lighter screams like that, this song has that. It's all about hallucinations, which I think was a really cool idea for it. So there was this song on this album called Sleepwalker that was very similar to Kill Your Nightmares, and it didn't make it. Um, but what's cool about that song is that I just loved it so much. Hearing it back, I'm saying, what am I going to do with this? Because I want to release it, and I just released it as a single, and now it's up. You can hear it right now. It's released. It's a good song. Sleepwalker's cool. So when you hear Kill Your Nightmares, I'm going to say Sleepwalkers part one, and then Kill Your Nightmares is part two.
I sort of did a part one, part two thing, but I kept the title because back in 2024, I made this song called Empty featuring a guy named D Fame. And this was back when I did rap. Uh, Empty talked about the feeling of not wanting to leave the relationship, but having to leave it for your own good because of what your partner does, which is abusing. And with that one, the chorus sort of went like, "I wish I wasn't empty," stuck inside my mind, and then Defame repeated, "Say goodbye, I say it twice. God forbid I say goodbye." And then
Yeah.
I said, "I wish I wasn't empty," and then I said,
Uh,
"Stuck inside my mind" again. And I say it twice. Count my blessings one more time, and then I went into the verse, and that one was a pretty deep one to me. And then recently, I did Empty Part Two, which is just me by myself, except for Empty's more improved. And in the chorus, I sort of went, "I wish, no,
I don't
I
want
wish
you
I
to.
wasn't empty. I
Uh,
wish I wasn't empty, stuck inside my mind." And then I said,
so yeah, Sleepwalker, Kill Your
"You know that
Nightmare.
it hurts inside.
You
You
know,
know that it hurts inside. Now I say this one more time," and then blah blah blah. But anyways, off about my
yeah.
ranking of my own songs. Back to you.
Uh, Kill Your Nightmares
Uh,
and Sleepwalker go together, but Sleepwalker's first thing. Kill Your Nightmares. The thing about this song is I don't want to reveal any lyrics off of it because it's just so like when people hear it, we're like, wow, like you know what I mean. Um, but that one's a fun one. It's really cool orchestra. It's different. Has a different outro. It's cool. It's a cool one.
okay, so now Wasted Worlds.
That's the biggest gut punch on this record.
I thought you said that about
Fractured is the second most biggest gut punch. This is the first. This is the first. I forgot this song was on this record, so until you mentioned it,
until just now.
till just now, this is the biggest gut punch on the record, and this one didn't make Elevation either. Vice Script, World War Free, Waste of Worlds did not make Elevation. So yeah. Wait, give me a second. We got
Okay. Uh,
all right. Where were we?
okay, so we were on. Hold on, 1 second.
We needed a
Let
break.
me refind the message thing. Found it. We were on Wasted Worlds.
Right. Okay. That song is all about grief. So like, I don't think to me Grief is not about just losing someone. It could be about losing a pet, you know, um, could be a friend moving away. And this song to me is the meaning of like I had a teacher who I've known for like 5 years, like kind of in my life, like 5 years, long time. And for me, when he told me the news he was leaving, kind of took a toll on me because I didn't want to believe it. Because that person changed my life in so many ways because he was the one that actually helped me, you know, be what I wanted to be when I grew up, if that makes sense. So I didn't want to accept it. And this song is you just hear the pain in this song, you know, and the chorus is just why do I have so much regret? Still remembering the times we cried, right? Is that a part of my anxiety or my mind? It feels like the wasted worlds are collapsing on me. And it has my favorite bridge that I've ever created. Probably my favorite bridge on the record that I've ever created. Um, or not on the record, just in general, my favorite bridge I've ever created because the song just has so much pain, so much agony that you just hear it. And I'm trying not to choke up because thinking about it, it's one of those ones where you hear it. It's just one of those ones where I can't go back and listen to it. Like it's hard. It's a hard one, but I love that one.
Yeah.
You can listen to that now too. It's out.
So now is Solar Burns.
That I have to get the final mix back. I haven't got the final version of that yet. But that one is Starset meets Bad Omens type thing. Um, the chorus is like, as the solar burns, my alter ego turns, time itself learns. That's where the solar burns. One while I learned the paradox of time. Is it a crime to know that that's where the solar burns? Um, which is really cool because it's a very like cryptic star set thing, and it does have a cryptic meaning, um, which I'm not going to reveal the meaning of this song. You can figure that out. Any of the fans can figure that out. But
I'm good at figuring out meanings for songs, so that should be good.
so Solar Burns is a cool one. It has a cool bridge where it's like overlayered and stuff, but has a really cool. It had a really cool second verse, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna. If I do a live performance again, I plan on putting that in the set list and then singing the original one. But we'll see. It's a cool one. Uh, Tristan's probably going to do a sick job on that song. Um, hopefully, he will.
Okay, now this one is Never Back Down.
Yeah, that one's a really rock, like catchy rock one. Um, so that one's just all about being in a failed relationship, kind of like being in a toxic relationship, where like you're overcoming that, right? So it's like the course
We've
is
been there before.
the course is I will never back down from being myself. I can tell you the way it really is. Pain is in the million words that don't exist, but success isn't the key to death. But in this fight, I'll never back down. So kind of like the verses kind of explain the toxic relationship, and then the chorus kind of gets heavy. So kind of more like Star Set, where it's like negative, negative, and then it turns to like this positive, like dark world, and then light world type thing going on with it, which I think is really cool. The bridge says, "Leave me alone, darkness on my own. These writings on the walls are the swords that are gonna fall, hiding from these sounds because it reminds me of the haunted ruins. But here I stand on the hill of the promised land." So like, just the idea of like, even though you did this stuff to me, even though you put me through this hell, I stand on top. I'm standing on the promised land. You know what I mean?
Uh,
Right? I'm on the right, and it has a cool outro too. Like one of the coolest outros in the album. It's sick. It's a sick one. Can't wait for people to hear that. But it is definitely rock heavy. I'll say that.
so like broken like me top feels.
Like Broken Like Me meets Inner Critic.
All right. Anyways, okay, now I'm back. Uh, Embers.
Embers is a really heavy one, screamy, really heavy one. Um, that one is like I feel scared because the monsters are always within me and I don't know how to fight them. Basically, like I don't know how to I'm questioning whether or not if I should just give up or so kind of so the chorus just choir and then says a verse like goes
Whoa, like that.
yeah, and it's like the embers. Should I surrender when I'm not safe in this endeavor? Right, all the monsters kind of just goes on like with that theme. It's cool because it goes between a choir and a and the chorus, and it has a really sick ending where it ends off at the breakdown. It's not like a screamy It's more like an instrumental lives in the world of instrumental breakdown. So where and then when it goes where I'm not safe in this endeavor, it just hits it it drops in it, and it's like wow, like whoa,
Okay,
it's a cool one.
so last one for
No, Dark Half.
Dark
Last one's
Half.
Dark.
I keep forgetting what it's called. Dreamcatcher.
I remember when I was sitting with James on a call, and he was getting angry, and I was like, "Bro, you gotta calm down." And I was like, "It's like I can't, man. I'm just so." And I'm like, "I'm writing a song about this." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "I'm writing a song about anger issues." So the song's about anger issues.
Me. I have severe anger. Not severe, but I have anger issues. So that
This
one would
this
relate to
this
me.
this, this song is about anger issues. So the chorus is um, it's a really post rock type feel to it. Um, very very different, very weird. Like not a normal type Mr. Endgame sound. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, I might want to save these lyrics too because it's the last track. I don't want to reveal them because when people hear it, they'll be like, "Oh, now I know what he means." But I will tell you this tidbit of it. It just the ending of the chorus goes, "At least I can be an unworthy dream catcher."
Sure.
You know, so it kind of has dark humor in it, a little, but it also says the title song at the end, where it ends off at the bridge. It also says the title, so it says like splitting into my dark half, and then that's how the album ends, where it says splitting into my dark half. So it's not like a lot of people think, oh, it's going to be a positive ending. Well, it's kind of like in between, where it's not like positive but sad ending, but an in between ending where it's like I'm splitting into my dark half. Like I don't know whether to choose or not. Like if I'm going to go this way or that way. If I'm going to choose the bad side or I'm going to choose the good side. you know. So the whole record is just about, you know, like the theme of it. It's not a concept, but the theme of it is like the theme of this album is just, you go through these mental health struggles and you go through these problems that we don't know how to face them, and we want somebody's help, but we learn how to do it ourselves. We can't always rely on people to help us. You know what I
True.
mean? We learn how to do it ourselves. We learn how to get through these mistakes ourselves. Like that's the theme of this whole entire record, where it's just I have to go through this. I have to live with this pain, but I know I'm going to get through it by myself, one way or the other. And that's the whole idea of like splitting into my dark half. The whole idea of dark half is, am I going to choose the good side or the bad side? You know what I mean? Am I going to go where it's good, or am I going to go where it's bad? And that's just the whole idea of this whole album. Is like, right? Whole idea is, am I going to choose to save myself, or am I going to rely on people to always help me? You know?
All right. So now is time for our song,
Yeah.
Mistrusted. That's not on
That
the album. That's on my album. So
that one is about.
do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I think it's relationship trauma, right? That was what it was about. Trauma relationship.
Let me reread the lyrics real quick. Yeah, basically, it's about relationship trauma, and
So, okay.
I in my first verse, I say, "Pick up pieces from my past. Tell me why we could not last. Find out why we could not last. You're like an angel in disguise. Cover what they say with open eyes." By that, I
Yeah.
mean like pick up pieces from my past, meaning pick up all the relationship trauma, all the pieces from that, like pick that up from my past and bring it to this relationship is basically what she did.
Yeah.
And then tell me why we could not
I'll be
last.
back.
Find out why we could not last is where she won't tell me why we failed, and I'm trying to find out why we failed. And then you're like an angel in disguise, cover what they say with open eyes. That's more of like a pretty face doesn't always mean a pretty heart. And then cover what they say with open eyes being like sort of like out in public act like me and her are completely okay, but then behind closed doors we're not. And then you can tell them what the chorus means for or for what it means for you.
Right. So basically, the chorus is seeing through your fucking lies. Um, always wanting me to cry. I forgot how the chorus went. um,
You always wanted to see me cry.
I
And then hang on.
always thinking of these memories, but now we are mistrusted enemies. I think.
Oh yeah, no.
Um,
Okay, guys.
basically that chorus is just like, well, I'm now seeing you for the person you really are, and now, but now because of that, we're mistrusted enemies. Basically, we're just these where we no longer talk to each other. We no longer, the breakdown's really cool because it's just like
Yeah. I like the breakdown that it's
how
a good breakdown.
it's a good breakdown.
Cut the ties, mend the noose, let me feel brand new. Cut the ties being set me free from the trauma that you put into this relationship. mend the noose being sort of like saying mend the noose as in being
Yeah, it's a cool one. But we've written songs
I
together.
have no idea what I meant by mend the
Well,
noose, but it's
we've
okay.
written a lot of songs together, but I gotta go now. It's really fun. That's a
All right.
fun one. Go check it out. But I gotta go. So it's a
Yep.
good interview.
Yep. Bye. See
Yeah,
you, buddy.
peace. Yeah, peace out.
Bye.